All right. I really like what I did with the last video. How I talked about our Blessed Mother and that really cool apparition at Zaytun, Egypt. So I'm going to continue that because I like it. I could talk about so many cool things that a lot of people don't even realize. Like a lot of saints. I want to talk about saints too, because there's so many saints throughout history that so many people never even heard of, that lived like extraordinary lives that are like, you can't even make a movie about it. Like that would be even seem unbelievable, and it really happened. Most notably are child saints. Children saints actually have the coolest stories, and not a lot of people know about them. So I'm going to talk about that too before I get into the video. So let me talk about Saint Philomena. Has anyone ever heard of Saint Philomena? And the reason why I want to talk about the saints is these are inspirational people. That's what saints are meant to do. They're meant to inspire you to, inspire you to get closer to God and Jesus. So that's why I like talking about the saints. That's why I love learning about the saints. That's what brought me closer to Jesus. But all right, let me talk about Saint Philomena real quick. Incredible saint. If you never heard this story, check this out. Saint Philomena was born January 10th in 291, died August 10th in 304. So she lived a long time ago. Little is known about the life of Saint Philomena. However, it is believed she was a Greek princess who became a virgin martyr and died at 13 years old. Remains of a young lady were discovered in May 1802 at the catacombs of Priscilla on the Via Salaria Nova, with 3 tiles reading, "Peace be to you, Philomena." All that is known about Saint Philomena's life comes from a Neapolitan nun. She had a vision, this nun. Sister Maria Luisa di Gesù claims Saint Philomena came to her and told her she was the daughter of a Greek king who converted to Christianity. When Philomena was 13 years old, she took a vow of consecrated virginity. After her father took his family to Rome to make peace, Emperor Diocletian fell in love with Philomena. When she refused to marry him, she was subjected to torture. So the father took the family to Rome to try to negotiate. There was war going on, and he wanted to make peace. He didn't want to go to war with, and the emperor was the emperor. So he's like, all right, I'll give you peace, but just give me your daughter. Because, I guess Saint Philomena, I guess she was so beautiful as a child. The king, wanted to marry her. And let me continue reading. Saint Philomena, and she was subjected to torture because she refuses. So Saint Philomena was scourged, drowned with an anchor attached to her, and shot with arrows. Each time she was attacked, angels took to her side and healed her through prayer. So when she was scourged, they took her to the cell that night, and in her cell, the very next, she was bruised and bloodied like no other, and the next day she was fully healed. The angels came to her in her cell and healed her, and no one could believe it. They were all surprised at that. And then the emperor had her the anchor chained to her ankle, threw her at the bottom of the sea. She came back up, and not only that, she was completely dry. Nothing, no bruises, no wet, no nothing. So after that, they shot her with arrows. But when the archers the knights or whatever soldiers tried to shoot her with arrows, the arrows came back and shot and hit them, the shooters. So, let me continue reading. Yeah, so this goes on. This talks about finally the emperor had Philomena decapitated, and that is what ended her life. And but does this talk about how? Oh, it and another thing I read about her is the Virgin Mary came to her 3 nights earlier and told her that she'll be in heaven. She just has to suffer. She just has to go through 3 more days. So when the 3rd day came, when the emperor finally just took her head off, she wasn't even worried at all or nervous or anything. She died with a smile on her face. Can you imagine that? How cool is that? Let me continue reading. According to the story, her death came on a Friday at 3 in the afternoon, the same as Jesus. 2 anchors, 3 arrows, a palm symbol of martyrdom, and a flower were found on the tiles in her tomb, interpreted as symbols of her martyrdom. The nun's account states Philomena was born on January 10th and was killed on August 10th. Devotion for Philomena began to spread once her bones were exhumed and miracles began to occur. Canon Francesco di Lucia of Magano del Cardinale received relics of Saint Philomena and had them placed in the Church of Our Lady of Grace in Mangano, Italy. Soon after her relics were enshrined, cancers were cured, wounds were healed, and the miracles of Mangano, when Venerable Pauline Jaricot was cured of a severe heart issue overnight, were all attributed to Saint Philomena. Other saints began to venerate Philomena and attributing miracles in their lives to the young martyr, including Saint John Marie Vianney and Saint Peter Louis Marie Chanel. Oh. So there you go, Saint Philomena. Beautiful. And let's talk about blink charging. We go from Saint Philomena to blink charging. But I like this though, because it gets me a chance to, so I don't have to start another YouTube page, because I already have a bunch of subscribers here, and we could mix, we could talk about saints and cool stuff and stocks. All right, it's all good. So here we go. Blink charging. I really like blink charging. It's trading at $2.93. And in my opinion, I don't see it going down to the $1 range. I see anything in the $2 range. I mean, it could hit $2.20 or something like that, but I think that's where the bottom is. If you could start a position with this trading in the $2 range, you're good. You're good. So let me read you an article from Investor Place. Blink. Let's see. For Q3 of 2023, Blink reported revenue growth of 152% on a year-on-year basis to $43.4 million. It's worth noting that service revenue increased by 119% to $6.7 million. As the number of charging stations installed increases, service revenue will continue to swell. Another growth trigger is the company's DC fast chargers. For the first 9 months of 2023, the company installed 1,435 fast chargers with $27 million in recognized revenue. From a growth perspective, the U.S. market needs an investment of $100 billion by 2040. Further, Blink is expanding in Europe, which is another big market. With a big addressable market and operating leverage, the outlook is very optimistic for Blink. Besides operating leverage, the increased adoption of L2 chargers in the U.S. will support margin expansion. So with those numbers, the revenue growth, record revenue growth, I mean, why would it slow down? I don't see why it would slow down. I mean, I can't think of anything. Institutions seem to love Blink too. BlackRock owns 15.81%. Vanguard owns 10.89%. State Street 8%. So you got BlackRock with almost 16%, Vanguard with almost 11%. Trading in the $2 range. I would check out Blink. EVgo is really man, they got a lot of cash too, no debt, and they got a lot of revenue going in too. I think they got like 138 million in revenue. So both them stocks are really good. Trading at like, they're basically trading at like the same price. But yeah, let me know what y'all think. And have a beautiful, blessed day. Bye-bye.